Hello YouTube, Henry here. Today we'll be doing the installation of Arch Linux as I've installed it on my machine. Mainly because I had 5 or 6 different guides and not one of them allowed me to install Arch Linux as I have it now. So what I've done is I took bits of different guides and put them together, bits that work, and made my own guide. So that's what we'll be doing now. We'll be installing it my way. So I've set this up and we'll be installing a 64-bit version. I've given it 2 gigabytes RAM and 2 processors and 128 megabytes of video RAM. So and I'm going to just switch this to scale mode, so I can make it bigger. Right, so we'll put it there. Right, so for the x86 and 64-bit version, the x86 and 64 is for 64-bit version, 64-bit processors, and the i686 is for 32-bit. So for purposes what I'm doing, mine is 64-bit, obviously with the, as I showed you, with 2 processors for the VM. So we'll be installing this one. Now when this loads, we'll be loading straight into the root directory. Now also something else that I found with VMware and VirtualBox, you have to install the VirtualBox graphics drivers for like Arch Linux. I've not had problems with any other distro, but Arch Linux you need VirtualBox drivers, graphics drivers for. The Mesa drivers just won't work. Right, this bit that I'm doing you don't have to do, but I'm just doing it the same way that my system was set up. So for me it's load keys UK and set font lat 2 dash terminus 16. Right. For partitioning, we're going to use the cf disk command. Right. At this point, you have to know something about partitioning hard drives, and if you install Arch Linux, you must know something anyway. You can install Arch Linux with 2 partitions, the swap partition and the main partition, but once again I'm setting this up the way my system's set up, so I'm going to be using 4 partitions. I'm going to be using the boot, the swap, the root, and the home directory. As I say, you can really only, if you want, you can use 2. So primary, I'm going to use sorry guys, had a bit of a problem. Okay, I'm going to pause this a sec. Sorry about that. So yes, the partition I'm going to do is the way I've done it, so it'll be set up in 4 partitions. So as I've got here, I was about to do the boot partition, which I'm going to have as 1024, so I'm going to give it 1 gigabyte for the boot. Bootable. Next, I've given it 2 gigabytes, so it'll be about 512, isn't it? 512. What am I I talking about? So it'd be about 4096. And then go to type, press enter, 82. So that's what we need because it's the swap partition. So primary. So we'll give this in 6 gigabytes. That's the root partition, and then this one is the home partition. Then click press right, and you've got to type in yes or no. Y or N just won't work, and then quit it. So now we're going to make our files. So we do mkfs, well, file system .ext4, and then our first one, which is dev/sda1, and press enter. Sorry. Then mkswap /dev/sda2. Excuse me. And if you just push up twice until on the keyboard until that comes up, and then change the 1 to a 3, and then press up again and change it to a 4. Or if you've only got 2 partitions, it's only dev sda1 and then the swap for dev sda2. Now what we need is to mount the partitions. So I just want to make sure I get this right. So I'll bring up the paper. So we need mount space /dev/sda3 space /mnt. Now if you've only got 2 partitions, that'll just be sda1 /mnt, but since I've got 4, it's sda3 to me. Right, that's right. And now we need to make the directory mnt boot and then space mount space /dev sda1 space /mnt /boot. And on this one it's swap on dev sda2. And what I usually do is just push up twice, change boot to home, change sda1 to sda4, and change that boot to home, and press enter. Now what we do here is change the mirror, which would be nano space /etc/pacman.d/mirror list, and press enter. Now this will give you a list of mirrors, and you just usually pick the one that's closest to you and copy and paste it at the top. Now I'm not sure how you copy and paste it, I can't remember. What I did is I just wrote it down and went up the top, pressed enter and typed it in. But I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to leave it the way it is at the default mirror. So I'm just going to press Control X, and if you'd already wrote like typed the mirror in, you'd put Y, but I'm just going to put no. Right, now what we want to do is install the base system. So we go pack strap space /mnt space base, and then space base dash development, and press enter. And now this will install the packages into the mount directory, the mnt. done here, we have to generate the fs tab. So for this we will type gen fs tab space dash uppercase U space dash lowercase p space /mnt space greater than forward slash space /mnt /etc /fs tab. Oh, and then there. Now we're gonna do the in the root. So for that we will type arch dash root space /mnt. Right. Again, you don't have to do this, but the way I'm doing it, I'm just following my guide. Upload keys UK set font lat 2 dash terminus 16. Right, so we need nano, because we're setting up, we're customizing our configuration files now, so we need set the locales. So it's nano space /etc /locales sorry, locale, not locales, locale dot gen. Now in here you'll just have to go down to wherever you're from and uncomment the lines that represent your country and so forth. Since I'm from the UK, mine will be ENGB. When you're done, press Ctrl X, Y, enter. Right. After that, it would be locale dash gen. Press enter. Right, now that that's done, we will type echo lang equals en_gb dot utf dash 8 space greater than space /etc /locale .conf. Keep catching that bloody K, don't I? Now export lang equals en_gb dot utf dash 8 and then enter. Now nano et, I don't think you really need to do this if you're from like US or something like that. It's only for there because I'm from the UK, so I prefer my keys to be set up for the UK. So key map. I suppose if you live in the US or something like that, you can set up like for key map you just put US and so forth. Font equals lat 2 dash terminus 16 and then font map equals, and that's left blank. Control X, Y, enter. Now what I'm about to do here is I can't remember exactly what it is, how you find it out, but once I do I'll put it in the description below. But for me it'll be ln-s /usr/share/zone info /Europe/London, then space /etc /local, yeah, local time. I think instead of putting LN, if you're just looking for whatever country you're at, I think it's LS and leave out the -s. I think that's how you find that. I can't exactly remember. But anyway, like I say, I'll have a look and I'll. Nope, that's not it. I've got it somewhere in one of the other guides, but I'll have a look anyway. Right, now to continue. So it'd be HW lock --sys TOHC --UTC. So we're setting up to UTC. Right, now we want a host name, so we'll type nano space /etc /host name and press enter. Now so we'll put crap Linux for this one anyway. Don't take this as me saying that Arch Linux is crap, because it's not. All Linux is crap, because just this virtual box machine's crap. So we'll put Control X, Y, enter. Right, so we'll go nano etc pacman .conf. Oops, that was a mistake. No, there we go. Right, you want to make sure that this here community is uncommented and that extra here is uncommented and the core is uncommented, and as you can see they are here, so we don't have to do nothing. So just exit out that if they're uncommented, exit out and type in mk init cpio space -lowercase p and then put Linux and press enter. Now when that's done, you want to type in systemctl enable dhcpcd at eth0.service. Now what this does is enables DHCP on your network card at boot up. Now this command by itself will not allow me to use my network adapter to download any packages or anything like that after reboot. I've got a couple of extra commands to put in after the reboot, but I find that itself will not work. It might work for you, it might work for whoever, but it just doesn't work for me. Right, so what we want to do after this is password root, and what should I put? Kidding. Alright, so we've done that. Right, now what we want to do is create our user, so we type in user add space -lowercase m space -lowercase g, pardon me, space users space -capital G space wheel space -s space /bin /bash space, and then your username. I'm putting Henry because obviously my name, and then we want pass wd and then your username, and then we will put in a password, and there we go. Now what we want to do is install our bootloader. Now if you've got, I think it's what, UEFI or EFI, I'm not too sure. As far as I'm aware, I think Grub actually supports it. You'd have to look at the wiki for that, but I don't have that kind of motherboard, so mine's just a standard. So I'm just going to use the grub 2 bootloader anyway. So it's pacman dash capital S grub dash BIOS, enter, Y. Right, and after this you want to put a grub dash install space dash dash target equals i386 dash PC space dash dash recheck space /dev /sda, enter. And as you can see, installation finished and no errors were reported, so that's good. Now you want to do cp user share locale, make sure you put the / in, which I forgot, so locale / en. Now you want to use a backslash, then the at what, oh that's right, isn't it? Yeah, quad /lc underscore messages /grub.mo space /boot /grub /locale /en.mo, and then enter. Now what you want is grub-mkconfig lowercase o, sorry, not 0, scrub out the 0, it's an o, space /boot /grub /grub.cfg, enter. So that's that done. Now what we need to do is type in exit, text it out to truth, then we want to umount space /mnt one of them kind of brackets boot comma home comma and another and the closing bracket and enter. Then what you want to do is reboot. Now make sure you remove the disk after reboot. And yes, I did have a disk in. Right, when it comes up, you want to log in as the user. Alright, so log in as user, password, there we go. Now what you want to do is su, which is the super user, and you want to put in, excuse me, the super user password, and there we go. Now for this is the extra commands I said you'd need when we were sorting out the DHCP on the network card. So what you want to do this time is put in systemctl space start DHCPCD and press enter, and then change start to enable, press enter again, and there you go. That should work. Now we need to download the sudo command, so pacman-s sudo and enter. Why? Moment of truth here, see if it works, and there, the download works. So now we have sudo downloaded. Now we've got set up, so it's editor equals nano vi sudo and press enter. Go to the bottom. Now what you need, I don't know if this bit matters, but I added anyway. Underneath root, put in your username space all equals opening bracket all close bracket space all in capitals. All the alls have to be in capitals, and the username in lowercase, obviously, and come down to this wheel here and uncomment it. As I say, I don't know if putting your username and all after underneath root matters, but I like to be safe than sorry. So exit, control X, and yes, and enter. Now, where we are? What we need now. Right. This is what you need if you have an NVIDIA graphics driver, graphics card, or I think with ATI it's the same thing. So we have to go back into the pacman.conf. So it would be nano. Well, we'll use sudo. Sudo. I don't think so. How many there? Nano etc pacman.conf. I think that's fine. Yeah. Now this multi-lib here, you would have to uncomment. Now if you did it earlier when we did the edited the pacman.conf, when you rebooted it, the comments would still be there. So that's why I left it until this point in time, and then you uncomment it then. But since I don't need it on this virtual machine, I'm just gonna exit out. But remember to uncomment multi-lib. Leave multi-lib test and just uncomment multi-lib itself. Then you want to do sudo pacman -ssy enter, and this will synchronize the package database, which okay, as you can see, I had a bit of a problem at the top and I'm not entirely sure what that's for, but for purposes that I'm doing, I'm just going to leave it for now. If you install it on a normal machine and not in a VM, it should be fine. And then press SSU. As you can see, as far as I saw there, I didn't get no errors on that one, so it was just on the SSY. Now that that's done, you want to install the Xorg, or however you want to pronounce it, Xorg, things like that. So we want to do sudo pacman -s Xorg -server space Xorg -zinit space Xorg -server utils, and press enter. Then you want to install these. Hurry up. Right. Now that that's done, you want to install the method driver. So sudo pacman -s, and what was it, messer, and yes. And then just push up and put in dash demos and press enter. Y and enter. Now at this point in time, you'd be wanting to install your graphics driver. So if it's NVIDIA, you'd depend on if you got a 64-bit or 32-bit. You'd put, well, for 32-bit, you'd probably put NVIDIA like that, and then just put NVIDIA -utils, and then install it like that. And if it's a 64-bit, you'd put lib32- in front of it. As for ATI, I'm not too sure what it is, but for this, since I'm using a virtual box, oops, wrong one, think this is it here. So I'll pull that there a minute. So I need here sudo pacman -s virtual box -guest -utils. That's why I enter. Right, and now mod probe -a vbox video. Right, that should be fine in theory. So I'm just going to do something else in a minute. Don't worry, these virtual box guest utilities you don't have to install. This is just because I'm using a virtual machine, so they need to be loaded. So sudo nano etc / modules -load d / virtual box.conf and enter. Right, and I need vbox guest, vbox sf, and vbox video, and x and y and enter. Right, now after you've done that, you want to install the also utils. I'll just minimize this now. Right, so what we need to do now is install the also utils. So it's sudo pacman -s also -utils and enter. And yes. Right, and after that, I really don't think you need this as well, but as I say, part of my guide, and I like to install it. So I'll be doing sudo nano etc x11 / Xorg.conf.d / 10 - keyboard.conf and enter. Right, so section input pass and identifier keyboard defaults match is keyboard yes, and then I want option yeah, sorry about that, capital X KB capital L layout. Oh, I'm going to delete that by accident. And then GB Alt X Y and enter. And now you want to do sudo pacman -s. Right, now you want to install Xorg -twm space Xorg -xclock. Oh, forgot the X. And then space xterm. And you want them installed. Yes, enter. Now, if everything's set up right, type in start X. Now, this is the moment of truth whether you know that your graphics cards and all that work, and hopefully that this will work, and it doesn't, because I've done something wrong somewhere in the file I created. Section is not a valid keyword. Right, anyway, so there we are. Let's see what I've got wrong here. Input class identifier match is keyboard. Match is keyboard, yes. Option XKB layout. Right, section input class, yep. Identifier keyboard defaults, yep. Match is keyboard. Match is keyboard, yes. And then option, oh, I know what I've done. Down here you have to put end section and alt XY and we'll do that. And there you go. So that was my fault. Stupid me. So there you go. At this point in time, if everything's gone okay, you'll know that your graphics driver is installed, and you can go from there. I'm not sure really if you need that. If you do, just follow what I've done, and where it says for your like keyboard layout, if you're in the US, you'll probably put US, and if you're in other countries, you'll put whatever represents your country there. So in these, we're just going to put exit, and we'll move over this one because this is the main one, and put exit, and there we go. So as you can see, that went fine, apart from the little hiccup at the beginning. Now what you want to do is put in sudo pacman -s ttf -deja and press enter, and you want to install these. Now after, you don't, with Linux you don't really need a reboot, but I usually prefer to, but since I've already had a reboot before doing StartX, and since I've just installed these deja vu file, I'm just going to continue. So I'm going to be installing XFCE 4 like I use on my main machine. So what we need to do is put in sudo pacman -s XFCE 4. If you're using GNOME, I'm not sure, I think you just put in GNOME or GNOME, however you want to pronounce it, and like I say, I'm not too sure. KDE, it'll be KDE 4, I think it is. Anyway, press enter. Yeah, leave it as default. Press Y and enter. And then we'll just wait for this to install. Now you have a choice of display managers. Like if you're using GNOME or GNOME, it'll be GDM. If you're using KDE, it'll be KDM. For there's things like LXDM or XDM and things like that, but on this machine I'm going to be using slim, SLIM, and it's worked fine for me. Apart from when I first started and when I first installed Arch Linux, I did have a bit of a problem because the guide I had did not tell me how to actually set up the configuration file to allow me to log on to the system. not sure if this is installed, so I'm going to try it first. Sudo pacman -s. Okay, it says not installed. Right, now here we go. We're going to install Slim. Excuse me. So what you want to do is type in sudo pacman -s slim, and I'll input Y, and this will install the Slim desktop manager. As you can see, it only took like 2 seconds or so. I've gone that one. So, and then push up on the arrow key up, and where it says that, put in -themes space arch Linux -themes -slim, and press enter. Y, enter. And there you go. Now what we need to do now, this is a bit sketchy. Now when I got the guides, it did not do it the way I'm going to show you. It went awkward, and when you do it that way, you don't know which way, where it's going to be installed. It'll come up with an error saying I could not find the file or anything like that. So this way you'll get it right. So you want to do cp space /etc /skel .zinit rc. Now after this you want to put space /home / then your username, which in my case is Henry, and press enter. Now that's copied the zinit rc file to the home directory. Now what we want to do next is put in chmod space +x space /home / username .zinit rc, and then press enter. Now what that's done is it's made your .zinit file an executable file. So after that we want to do nano /home / username .zinit rc, and press enter. Now as you can see here, if you're installing Slim for GNOME, you would uncomment this one. If you've got KDE, you'll uncomment this in, and since we've got XFCE 4, we'll uncomment this in, and that one is Windows Manager of your choice, which hell if I know what it means. It probably mean like another desktop manager or something like that, like I don't know, X Windows. I don't know if that's part of these now or it's something different. Anyway, press Control X, Y, enter, and that's that bit done. Now what we need after this is sudo nano space /etc /slim.conf, and this is our display manager's configuration file. Now we want to go down to default user, which is here. Now when I first installed Arch Linux with XFCE 4 and Slim, the guide did not show me to go into this slim.config file or conf file to change this. So when I loaded it up after reboot and I typed in my name, it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't even work with the root username password. So anyway, with default user, put in your name. Change the focus password to yes. Now if you want auto login, just press that. Default theme. Now I prefer the default theme, but for purposes here I'm going to type in Arch Linux dash simply black. I mean, the default image is a lot nicer, but simply black. Like I say, for the purposes of this, I'm going to put it at that. So I think that is about it. So we will do a sudo reboot. Press enter. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Well, better yet. See. Woo! Fingers crossed. Are you working? Or are you not? Are you working or are you not? Okay, things going wrong here. And I don't know what it is, because that should have worked fine. Oh, I know what I forgot to do, sorry. Stupid me. Go back before the reboot. Right, so I will put this in the description. But you want to type in sudo systemctl space enable space slim.service. Now you want to do this before the reboot, right? And I will put this in the description. Before the reboot, type in that, press enter, or you'll have the same problem I've just had there. This will now enable Slim to be loaded up at boot. So anyway, type in sudo reboot. And there we have it. Silly, stupid, arse me. Anyway, so put in username and your password. And is it going to work? Is it not? Pow. There we go. XFCE 4. Let's see if this worked. Right. Now here you'll find maybe another problem. I don't know. I think the first couple of times I installed XFCE 4 I did not have this problem, but the last, like, from then on I've had this problem. As you can see here, you haven't got downloads and all that. Your download folder, pictures, music and videos. So what I want to do is close that and bring up the terminal and type in this following here. So it'll be sudo pacman -s xdg user directory, well, dirs, the directory, and then put in your password and press enter. Press Y and enter, and then let's see what works. You might have to, no, you probably have to log out and log back in, so I'll quickly do that. Log out. And there you go. And everything that you want to install after that, you would just use the sudo pacman command. So sudo pacman -s and fire dash, no, it's not, it's firefox, and there you go. And just everything like that, and things like sudo pacman -s and wine if you want to play Windows games on Linux. Okay, that one's a mistake. Okay, I don't know why that's not installed. Normally it would. Or Skype, for instance. too sure why that's happening. But as I say, if you're installing this on a normal machine, you won't have these problems. I think it's only because it's a virtual machine. Why? Okay, yeah. It's just so Firefox worked and Wine doesn't. So I'm not too sure why that is at the moment. So anyway, yeah. So that's XFCE 4 and Slim in VirtualBox. As I say, you won't have these problems when you install on your actual machine. And remember, for Slim, you do that bit that I did after the reboot, before the reboot. So it's the what was it? It would be the, once I find it, because I've got it wrote down here somewhere. I think this is it here. Yes, you want to use the sudo systemctl enable slim.service first. And as I say, I'll put in the description, and hopefully you'll have a better look at installing it than I've just had in that VM there. So yeah, if you please like and share this video, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. This is Henry. Thanks for watching.